badass Russian women who can kick your ass, and still are kicking your ass, from beyond the grave. I'm Alex, everybody, and let's just get right into it. Nobody messes with Mother Russia. Ignore the bad accent. For proof of that fact, here are my 8 women. First, we have Olga of Kiev, regent of Kievan Rus, who lived from 890 to 969 AD. Here is her picture, right there. See her pretty? Olga is now a Catholic saint, but when she lived, she was fierce, to put it lightly. After her husband was killed by a neighboring tribe, the Drevlians, Olga dispatched her men and scalded to death the men who had killed her husband. Then she slaughtered hundreds more. It is also said that she had men buried alive, burned down cities and their bathhouses with men trapped inside. She did all of that before converting to Christianity, and she converted her tribal people, Kievan Rus, into a Christian kingdom, and her grandson, Vladimir the Great, declared Christianity the official religion of the kingdom instead of the paganism that it had favored for so many years before. He made it Christian. Her feast day is July 11th, for anyone who cares to know that. She was named a saint in 1547, and she holds the title Isa Apostolos, I found somewhere, which apparently means equal to the apostles. I'm not Catholic, so I don't exactly know all the ins and outs. Next, we have Mariya Rasputin. She is right here. See her pretty? Born Matryonia, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Mariya was the daughter of the mystic Grigory Rasputin, and she barely escaped Russia with her life only weeks before her good friends, the Grand Duchesses, were murdered. You can check out my video on the Tsar and his family that I made a couple months ago, if you want to. Anyway, after coming to America, Mariya had to make ends meet somehow, so after having a couple kids, she went into vaudeville theater. And later on, she became a lion tamer for the traveling circus. How badass is that, right? She was apparently quoted as saying about the job, "Why not? I have been in a cage with Bolsheviks." Her circus days ended after being mauled by a bear, which she survived. She went on to work as a machinist in a shipyard and an author after that. She lived from 1898 to 1977 AD. And then we have Marina Yurlova, lived from 1900 to 1984 AD. She is featured in 14 Diaries of the Great War. It was a documentary series. I think they've taken it off Netflix now, I'm not sure. Anyway, this is her down here. World War I broke out when Marina was just 14 years old. Her father was a Cossack, a soldier to the Tsar. Cossack means free man or adventurer. They received some privileges, and in return the Cossacks helped expansion efforts for the monarchy and did other things like normal foot soldiers do. When her father went off to war and left Marina behind, she decided to join up herself. After convincing another band of Cossacks to take her seriously, Marina managed to fight her way throughout the war, trained as an auto mechanic and truck driver. Marina was also taught to shoot and use her saber. She almost lost her leg to amputation, but managed to convince the doctor to leave it after being the only survivor after an attack by the Turks. When the Bolsheviks started their revolution, she was thrown in prison, but survived that ordeal too, even after the rest of the prison populace were assassinated by the Bolsheviks. She lived out the rest of her life quietly in the U.S., writing an account of her story in later life. And after her, we have Sergeant Mariya, I'm going to butcher her last name, Oktyabrsyaka. Yeah, she lived from 1905 to 1944 AD. She is pictured here. See? Okay. Sergeant Mariya waited 2 years with no news. That's how long it took in early Soviet Russia during wartime. In 1941, she was informed her husband had died on the front in 1939. Mariya took matters into her own hands, selling off all her possessions. She purchased a tank called the Fighting Girlfriend. Literally, that's what she named it. And she fought for country herself until she was killed in action in 1944. This is a translated copy of the letter she wrote to Stalin herself. "My husband was killed in action defending the motherland. I want revenge on the fascist dogs for his death and for the death of Soviet people tortured by the fascist barbarians. For this purpose, I've deposited all of my personal savings, 50,000 rubles, to the National Bank in order to build a tank. I kindly ask to name the tank Fighting Girlfriend and to send me to the front line as a driver of said tank." Unquote. During her first outing in her tank, she killed at least 30 Germans and took out an anti-tank gun. In the middle of the battle, the Germans damaged Fighting Girlfriend, and so Mariya proceeded to jump out of the tank, fix it, jump back in, and kill more Germans. Crazy. Mariya was finally killed by mortar fire when she left her tank again to repair her. She was the first woman to be awarded the Hero of the Soviet Union Award. Fighting Girlfriend was a T-34, to anyone interested. And then I have Alexandra Samyusenka. She lived 1922 to 1945. Alexandra was another Soviet tank driver. She was the only female driver in the 1st Guards Tank Army. She was awarded the Order of the Red Star after fighting heroically in the Battle of Kursk. Kursk. She died after being accidentally run over by another Soviet tank driver in the dark. This is her here. After her, I have Senior Sergeant Roza Shanina, one of my favorite women of all time. She lived from 1924 to 1945. Before the war, Roza was a firefighter, if that's not cool enough. She joined the fighting after her older brother was killed in action. Roza was 20 when she joined the war effort. In April 1944, she was made commander of the all-female 1st Sniper Platoon of the Soviet 184th Rifle Division. That same month, she killed her first German and was awarded the Order of Glory 3rd class. Then she got 2nd class. Then she received a Medal of Courage. In just over a year, she had 59 confirmed sniper kills before she herself was killed in January of 1945. This is Roza here. After her, I have Lyudmila Pavlichenko. Again, sorry if I mispronounced her name. She was the deadliest female sniper ever, with 309 confirmed kills. She lived from 1916 to 1974 AD. The film Battle for Sevastopol came out in 2015. It is about her, and it's a Russian film. There's apparently an English translation somewhere out there. At 25 years old, the press was calling Lyudmila Lady Death. She joined the war effort after the Nazis bombed her university, so she couldn't go to school anymore. At first, the recruiters wanted her to become a nurse or secretary, so Lyudmila presented the recruiter with virtually every civilian sharpshooter medal awarded in the Soviet Union. They all belonged to her. In one battle, every senior officer was killed, so Lyudmila took over. She killed 36 other snipers. The Germans knew her by name and called her the Russian bitch from hell. After being injured in battle, she was sent to the U.S. to make the public more supportive of the war effort, and First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt stood by her every step of the way. After the war, Lyudmila married and had a couple of children. Technically, she was born in Ukraine, but she fought for the Soviets and died in Russia, so that's why I included her here. So here's her picture down here. She looks fierce, doesn't she? Finally, I have Lydia Litvyak, Soviet Air Force pilot. The White Rose of Stalingrad could fly a prop plane by age 15, and within 3 more years she was an instructor. She flew over the skies over Stalingrad in a Yak-1. Lydia became the first woman in history to single-handedly win an aerial combat victory. 10 minutes later, she became the first woman to ever win 2 aerial combat victories. She even outdueled a German Iron Cross recipient. Now, if you know anything about the Nazis, and I don't know if it was Germany as a whole, the Iron Cross is pretty much the top medal you can get as a soldier. So, yeah, she beat him. Lydia was assigned free hunter status, which is a literal license to kill for anyone interested in that. Let's see here. In all, she had 12 solo kills, the most of any woman ever, and 4 or 5 assisted. She was last seen in 1943 being chased by 8 German planes. Her body was recovered in 1989, and she was awarded Heroine of the Soviet Union, the highest honor bestowed by the Soviets. Here is her picture here. So that's all I have for you this week. I have a link below for all of the ladies if you want to learn a little more. I'm Alex. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to me because I'm amazing and I make amazing videos like this for you to learn amazing things. I mean, come on, why would you not want to? And I'll see you next week for something new. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I promise you it's going to be awesome. So bye-bye, everybody.